Viewer discretion is advised. You must be 18 or older to watch this. This is pretty graphic and disturbing. And I hope everyone opens their eyes and sees what's really going on. For anyone who does feel led, it is very much appreciated. And I want to just say thank you to anyone who has in the past. I've been on since I think 2017 or 2018, and throughout that time, thank anyone who has, even if they don't watch me no more, they don't like me anymore, I still say thank you, and I still say I appreciate it. God bless you all. There's been many a times I've prayed to God for a helping hand, and He has sent one of y'all, and it has been such an amazing experience. And I just want you to know that I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all just for watching and just for being aware and letting me know that my videos do help. And I've made some great friends on here, so I hope I don't have to leave. But if I do, thank every one of you, and I love you, and a lot of y'all have my heart, and you will be my friends forever. Okay, guys, what I'm about to show you is the P.i.e, the pedophile information exchange interview. That is what they went by, was P.i.e, P.i.e. Are you ready? Here we go.
Adults would feel that a developed consideration for children would involve leaving children alone sexually to find their own way for themselves with their own peer groups and not with adults.
Yes, I would be all in favour of children finding their own way sexually, but I think also that adults have a part to play, because children are one part of the whole society. It isn't a society where we separate children from adults.
What do you feel?
I feel that P.i.e is not a procurement agency for children, never has been and never will be. Our political objectives include developing a society where children are given a much higher status than today, where they are recognised as individuals in their own right, and this includes recognising their right to certain sexual freedoms, whilst protecting them from the kind of criminal assaults which took place in Brighton.
But surely it's a question of recognising children's maturity, and how can you have an equal relationship, which is what I take a mature sexual relationship to be, between an adult and a child who is not mature in body, in mind, or personal awareness? It has to be unequal.
I don't accept that this concept of maturity at all. Adults, for instance, that aren't necessarily mature. It's a long process.
So I take for granted that no adult is probably ever mature, but nevertheless my state of maturity, or your state of maturity, is clearly different from that of a child of 12. How can there be an equal relationship which allows of sex, which is usually a shocking experience for everybody at some time or another? How can you allow of an equal relationship between two people so unequally positioned at the starting off point?
I don't accept that sex is a spontaneously shocking experience.
I don't think at some stage or other there is an element of shocking sex.
Not if children are properly educated about sex, and it's an obligation on society to see that children are given a far more comprehensive sexual education from a far earlier age.
But in that case they find it out, they discover this with people of their own age and in their own time. And it is the question of inequality which I come back to, which I think you haven't answered.
Indeed, by your lights, the relationship is unequal in the same way that a teacher-child relationship is unequal, in the same way that a parent-child relationship is unequal.
Teachers not exploiting the child's sex.
Nor is a pedophile. Pedophiles do not exploit children. Child molesters
using the child's sexuality.
No, pedophiles do not use a child's sexuality. Pedophiles develop a mutual sexuality with the child. It's an entirely reciprocal relationship.
But you can't say that because of this business of immaturity and the inequality of the relationship.
Yes, but the definition of maturity is yours. We don't share it.
Well, what is your definition of maturity in this context? Now, how can a child of 12 make a mature judgment about something like sex for the first time, which it has not the first idea about, and cannot possibly weigh the consequences of it?
You're imputing to a sexual relationship heavy judgmental issues.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the physical and psychical response.
Yes. a child is able to recognize a pleasurable experience. He is able to recognize a pleasing emotional experience. He is able to express consent and to recognize that this is something he wishes to continue. And a responsible, caring pedophile, it always refers to the wishes of the child.
Called themselves the Paedophile Information Exchange, or P.i.e. Information Exchange, or P.i.e. for short, and wanted sex with children to be legalized. They'd even had the gall to argue their case on Newsnight.
A child is able to recognize a pleasurable experience. He is able to recognize a pleasing emotional experience. He is able to express consent and to recognize that this is something he wishes to continue. And a responsible, caring pedophile, it always refers to the wishes of the child.
P.i.e. enabled paedophiles to get organised, and it wasn't just information they exchanged.
These men were paedophiles seeking other paedophiles. P.i.e. published a magazine, Magpie, and later its members published another magazine called Minor Problems. Both of these magazines served as contact points for paedophiles. They served as a way for paedophiles to exchange child pornography and in some cases locate children to abuse.
In what now seems like a moment of madness, P.i.e. was actually taken seriously. They submitted evidence to a Home Office inquiry regarding the age of consent laws and were linked to the National Council for Civil Liberties at a time when Harriet Harman and Patricia Hewitt were senior members.
If today an organisation had said, men should be free to have sex with children at whatever age and we're campaigning for this, they would be howled down. They would not be allowed anywhere near the corridors of power and influence. P.i.e. was.
Because of P.i.e.'s success, paedophiles helped each other to infiltrate our institutions and gain access to our children, especially in schools and residential care homes, making the problem even worse. So what did we do to try and stop it? And why didn't it work?
Okay, guys, I showed you that. It's not going to show the name of it now. This came about. It told you the date and time. But these people actually went on the news and tried to do this. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. Now, I'm going to go into a little bit more recent things that's been going on because a lot of people asked me to. But first off, I just want you to know that I am doing this to raise awareness against children everywhere and for children to be monitored more closely by their parents and show you how bad the pedophilia problem is. This is my part 2, and I hope that you will stick with me through the whole thing. God bless you, and here we go.
Investigation, the Miami Herald says it has located 60 women who say they were molested or sexually assaulted by multimillionaire Jeffrey Epstein, several telling their stories publicly for the first time. One tells the Herald this is about justice, not just for them, but for, quote, other victims who aren't Olympic athletes or Hollywood stars. This is video of Jeffrey Epstein's home taken by investigators during a search of the multimillionaire's Palm Beach mansion. It is where Epstein was involved with at least 40 underage girls, some of whom he had sex with, according to court filings obtained by NBC News. Several of his accusers speaking out for the first time to the Miami Herald.
I was 16. I was 16. I started going to him when I was like 14 turning 15.
A report from the Palm Beach Police Department alleges the girls were promised money in exchange for massages, and that a female who recruited young teens for the tycoon allegedly told one victim, "The more you do, the more you get paid."
He just laid down in his towel on his stomach, and he was just talking to people on the phone. When he flipped over, that's when he said, "Okay, you can go ahead and take off your shirt and pants."
The accounts include accusations from indecent exposure to inappropriate touching to rape. The then underage girls say they were lured by the cash.
My mother was on drugs at the time, and she couldn't provide for me, and I was pretty much homeless.
Former Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Ryder says many of the girls didn't know each other, but had the same story.
We believe that this would end up in a prosecution that would incarcerate Mr. Epstein for the remainder of his life.
Federal prosecutors even had a 53-page indictment ready to go, according to a court filing. But Epstein, a hedge fund manager who famously palled around with Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, and Prince Andrew, never faced those serious charges. Instead, a plea deal was struck. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts related to solicitation of prostitution and only served 13 months in a county jail.
And he arranged it so that he got work release, which meant that he had a valet, a driver that he hired, pick him up at the jail every day and essentially drive him to an office.
The former U.S. attorney who approved the deal, Alexander Acosta, is now President Trump's Secretary of Labor and a possible pick for Attorney General. A Labor Department spokesperson tells NBC News that the U.S. Attorney's Office defended the deal across 3 administrations and pointed out that Secretary Acosta was asked about the plea deal during his confirmation hearing last year.
Professionals within a prosecutor's office decide that a plea that guarantees that someone goes to jail, that guarantees that someone register generally, and that guarantees other outcomes is a good thing.
The former Palm Beach police chief disagrees.
I think almost the entire system failed them.
The 2008 agreement protects Epstein and anyone who worked with him from federal charges. He is a registered sex offender, but can travel freely to homes in New York, Florida, and the Caribbean. Alleged victims are now fighting to get Epstein's deal thrown out. Emboldened by the Me Too movement, they want their stories heard.
Just such shocking
Sex offender Jeffrey Epstein remains behind bars today on the latest child sex charges lodged against him. Epstein's arrest last week has put the spotlight on a private Caribbean island he owns, one that some have dubbed the Island of Sin. Our Lisa Guerrero traveled to the Virgin Islands for this look.
It's your first look at disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein's private island. The only way to get to the island in the Virgin Islands is by boat. And there it is, Jeffrey Epstein's 70-acre retreat known as Little St. James. We've launched a drone up right now. We're trying to get a better look at the island. From above, we see a large American flag. There are multiple structures, pools, and a helipad. Palm trees line the beach. He reportedly had them shipped in and planted at $20,000 per tree. The structure behind me is the main building on this island, and it has hosted American politicians, world dignitaries, and it's also the location that is alleged to have housed these wild orgies. One mystery is this white and blue striped building that looks like a temple. It used to look like this, with a gold dome. But it was lost during a storm. So what's inside? Reportedly, it's a music room where Epstein played the piano. Captain, can you take us in for a closer look? Near shore, we climb aboard a dinghy. This looks like an island paradise, but what allegedly happened here to teenage girls was horrific. Suddenly, a member of Epstein's staff appears when I step off. Sir, is this where the young girls were brought? So this man is now asking us to leave. He's kicking us off the island, so we're going to go. Epstein's bail hearing was held in New York today. Stephen Fabian is there.
Inside the courtroom, the biggest moment came when 2 of Epstein's alleged
leader of the globe's biggest child abuse site. An online network of pedophiles in dozens of countries.
Everything from babies and toddlers right up to, what they would describe as jail bait.
The material that was particularly being produced by this group we knew was happening almost live and on demand.
He is a predator. An extremely dangerous individual as far as I'm concerned.
To catch this predator would take a unique operation, involving the coordinated efforts of police from Germany, the Netherlands, Denmark, the United States, and Australia, who would piece together the man's identity, one clue at a time.
We knew information about the administrator of the site, and we knew there were certainly significant suggestions that he was an Australian.
And as soon as we
had a sniff that we were dealing with an Australian who was potentially the lead administrator, well, that presents a challenge that we were prepared to take on.
Kids are on YouTube all the time, and this is a scary warning for parents who let their children go on YouTube. Some seemingly innocent videos that they put on could be targeted by a so-called softcore pedophile ring.
Eyewitness News anchor Paul Boyd has been investigating the world's second biggest website that parents and children use every day.
In this case, it's not only the videos on YouTube causing controversy, it's the comments. Let's walk you through this. Under most videos, people get a chance to comment on what they see, like this, and that's where this all starts. A blogger claims a softcore pedophilia ring is zeroing in on videos featuring young girls. In many cases, they're in family videos of girls doing gymnastics, yoga, or just visiting the doctor's office. But this popular blogger says this ring is exploiting those innocent videos, making suggestive comments or highlighting points in which the girls may be in compromising positions.
I'm making this video with only one intention, and that is to bring awareness to this, even though there is awareness already around the internet, but there's not enough.
In a video that's now been viewed 2 million times, blogger Matt Watson says not only does YouTube allow this behavior, this pedophilia ring is actually making money off of it.
What this is child exploitation.
Watson says it works in several different ways. The first, he calls a YouTube wormhole. The ring takes videos posted by young girls or their families and then reposts them, then abuses the YouTube algorithm, where if you watch one type of video, the website will suggest other similar videos. So if you click one of their videos of a young girl, it'll instantly suggest dozens more.
2 clicks, I'm now in the wormhole. So now that I've clicked on this, look at this sidebar. There is nothing but little girls.
Another problem, he says, is in the comment section. They put in times that users can click that brings you to a portion of the video when the girls are in inappropriate positions. Another tactic, according to Watson, is creating challenges, encouraging children to send in videos of themselves in whatever positions the ring wants to see children in.
This is working in pedophiles' favor. I've seen people, they're flaunting the fact that YouTube is doing nothing about this.
Well, now several big companies are pulling ads from YouTube, including Nestle, Epic Games. They're the makers of Fortnite, and there are some reports that even Disney is removing ads from the website. YouTube says it took immediate action by deleting accounts and channels and are reporting illegal activity to authorities, and they're disabling comments on tens of millions of videos. That includes minors.
Okay, guys, the one thing I want to say about this video is, it is going on. That guy, the blogger he's talking about, you can find that video on YouTube. That guy actually goes into a lot of detail. It's a really good video to watch, but basically, I told you this before, people are going to these kids' channels, they're getting their videos and putting them on another channel, and is circulating a huge pedophile ring, and they are putting in timestamps of when the girls might have been exposed a little bit, even if, I mean, it's just crazy stuff, and they get like 400,000 to 4 million views on one video, and you go to their channel and they have like 12 or 20 views on their actual other videos. And there's a lot of people that allow kids to have their own channels and upload their own videos and stuff like that, and I just think that parents need to be more aware of this.